Brandon Stone is home. There's a momentous day ahead. Something more important than golf, apparently. But it is with golf we start at Arabella.
It's actually my first professional tournament here. The last time I played here was an amateur event. I was like 17, so it's obviously great to be back. But it's also nice to be playing in South Africa again on the Sunshine Tour. It's my first one of the season. It's nice to catch up with all the guys and compare some war stories from the season that's been going on since January for us.
A top 10 finish secured, though he never really threatened the leaders. A good week with dad Kevin, who suggested he play.
My father thought that I was annoying my fiance. I'm actually getting married next week Saturday, so he thought it might be in my best interest to stop bothering her with nitty-gritty wedding details, and he thought that we could come down here and make it a father-son bonding experience, so rented a house down the way, and just thought we'd come and play some golf.
Told you there was something momentous coming, though the 25-year-old barely seems old enough.
Every time I come off the golf course, I got about 10 to 15 WhatsApps from the fiance asking for my opinion, and just kind of act like I don't read those messages and then just give her a call later. But it's been nice to play again. I mean, I haven't played since the PGA. I've only had one round of golf prior to the Pro-Am this week, so there was a lot of rust the first 2 days I got out here.
Of course, he's been able to put his feet up, knowing there's money in the bank after a huge week and an amazing day at the Scottish Open.
The Rolex Series is obviously the flagship events for the European Tour. You look at the guys that have won them, Tommy Fleetwood, Toll Hatton, to name a couple. You really are among some very esteemed company. I've been struggling for a very long period prior to that, putting in a lot of work, a lot of hard hours, trying to get the game back to its best, and for a month leading up to that, it had felt like it was very close, and it all culminated in one round of golf, and a little 60 on a Sunday is going to always do you well. So to walk away there with a trophy in my hand, it just took a massive burden off my shoulders. I was playing with a lot more freedom, as you saw at the Open, at the Firestone, at the PGA Championship. So obviously you can't describe the value that had to the season or the career as a whole, but it's definitely given me that little bit of leeway to start playing the way that I like, to be a lot more free, a lot more aggressive, and hopefully I can just build on that now. Managed to birdie the first and took a look at the leaderboard, in my caddy, Tegan Moore, just straight away said, listen, we're not looking at the leaderboard today, we're playing against ourselves, we're just trying to shoot the best score that we can. So every time a leaderboard came across, Tegan managed to grab my attention and distract me, which was quite cool. And I actually had no idea what I was shooting. The first time that I knew the position that we were in, and the first time that I knew what my score was on the 18th green, because I stood there and there was a massive leaderboard and I was trying to figure it out. So I wanted to know what we were doing. So I obviously looked, saw that we had a 4-shot lead, thought, cool, it's a big burden, can not lag this putt up there, because I thought I had a good putt. And then I started counting the red dots on the leaderboard there, and I was like, okay, cool, 1, 2, 3, 4, sure, 10, that's not bad, this one for 61, and then actually remembered that it's actually a par 70, so I was like, wow, okay, no wonder there's so many people following us all of a sudden, and actually hit a really good putt. I criticised his line, because I let Tegan read it. He criticised my pace, said it lacked a little bit of pace, so but we'll set it for a 60 in the Scottish Open Championship.
And given the class of the rivals he dispatched at Gullen, it gives a whole new level of satisfaction.
I played some of my best golf that I've played in my career. To hold my own against the best players in the world, I mean, Ricky Fowler was in the field, to name one of the two. I think Cooch was in there too, so it was really, really special. Not just because of the field, not just because of the tournament, but it was just amazing to see that I still had the ability to put it through under the gun. A lot of guys struggled on a Sunday afternoon the moment that they see themselves on the leaderboard or know that they're in contention, and to know that I still had the ability to see it through and to get that victory being in contention was something that I'm very proud of.
He's now won 3 times on the European Tour, 3 times on the Sunshine Tour. He's been around, but in some ways he's still coming to terms with the demands of the pro game.
The last couple of years I've had a very busy middle of the year, which has actually made me quite fatigued towards the end of the season, and to the point that last year I never actually played Mauritius or Joburg Open or any of the final South African co-sanctions, where I made the conscious decision to try and manage the schedule a little bit better, especially with Scotland having the benefits that it did. I could take this nice break now, a 6-week break, and come back out for the Daniel Links, because once I go back out, it's Daniel Links, British Masters, and it flows all the way through until the Alfred Daniel, which is I think the second week of December. So schedule management is a massive part of the current professional climate, and I think that I'm doing it a lot better this year than I have the last couple.
One of his wins was the Alfred Dunhill Championship at Leopard Creek. It wasn't played last term, so he returns as defending champion.
I've only heard incredible things about the new changes that they've made. Mr. Rupert's been bragging to all the guys out in Europe that we're going to be struggling for pars. The greens are going to be very tricky. I am a massive fan of Synoden grass, so it's just made my favourite golf course even better by changing it now. And you know, that week's it's more of a reward than a working week that you're out in the Kruger, which is spectacular. I love the bush, so it's a great golf course, great event, and a great hosting site. So it's just a week that you're always going to enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to going this year.
There's another great site which is important to Brandon's preparations: the High Performance Centre at the University of Pretoria.
It's obviously great. I think the facilities that they have there are remarkable. They've got one of the best driving ranges in the country for sure, and obviously with Titleist support, you get to hit Pro V1s. They've got a special bag of practice balls just for me there, which is quite nice. The facilities are best probably within an hour and a half journey, so it really helps you develop your game, really helps you become a better player. And every time that I'm at home, I'm not too worried about where I'm going to practice, what I'm going to do. I know exactly where I'm going to go and where I'm going to try and sharpen up the game.
While he says there was rust in the cogs at Arabella, essentially his game's in good working order.
I'm actually hitting the ball surprisingly well. I was expecting to swing a little bit more couch out of the golf swing there, but I'm actually hitting it really well, driving the ball nicely. The game in itself is all coming together very nicely. I think I've really done a lot of hard work for the last 18 months, and it's nice to see it starting to pay dividends.
There's one big date pending which he mustn't forget. But he's also memorised plenty of other dates for the diary.
I will be at the Daniel Links, then I'm going to the British Masters. After that, I'm spending a week in Dubai for a little bit of practice. Then I go to Shanghai for the HSBC, Turkish Airlines Open, back for the Nedbank, back to Dubai for the DP World Champs. Then I come home for a few days, then Mauritius, Joburg Open and Alfred Daniel.
He'll be a happily married man, but still travelling the world like a bachelor.